today's video, I will be exposing the world's most famous magicians and their deep-rooted ties to demons and the occult. So let's get to it, because there's much to be exposed.
See how to actually see it. Just pull. Good. Pull.
The mystical art form known as magic has long been exercised and revered by various secret societies and ancient schools of the mystery religions, and it is still in use to this very day. To the true practitioners of this craft, the embodiment of magic is in fact very real and is very different from the conventional and commercial sleight of hand and stage magic that we are all used to seeing today. To the bona fide magician, magic is defined as a science and an art that causes change to occur in conformity with their will, meaning the sorcerer can in essence transform reality to his or her liking, usually in accordance with the laws of the universe. But many magicians, specifically those who belong to secret societies such as the Illuminati or the Golden Dawn, often seek to break these very laws of the universe by calling on demons and other diabolical entities to assist them in this devious art form known as black magic. Within this dark practice, there is a nefarious agenda to discredit Jesus Christ, and it is in fact being pushed by some of the most recognized and renowned magicians all over the world, such as Dynamo.
Try and pull it right through my neck. Right from the back. My neck, yeah? I'm scared. Watch, I'll help yourself.
Oh my God.
He just pulled this chain out of his neck.
David Blaine,
That'll do the trick, just...
Yeah, that's what you do.
Eve, and many others. Here are just a few examples. These performances were clearly inspired by biblical stories and are being executed subconsciously to the masses just to discredit Jesus Christ as a mere magician. These are truly the false miracles of the Antichrist spirit. Now, the most dangerous form of black magic is the scientific perversion of occult power, such as breaking the laws of physics or biology for the gratification of personal desire. These men will bargain their eternal soul for temporary power through a risky and a mysterious process known as a soul contract. In its various branches, the black art embraces nearly all forms of ceremonial magic, such as necromancy, witchcraft, sorcery, vampirism, Kabbalah, and alchemy. And under the same general heading, this also includes mesmerism and hypnotism. There are some crucial factors that these magicians have truly mastered concerning the theory and practice of black magic.
What? That's mental.
See how it really looks?
Sorry, David, seriously. This isn't a trick. You're just sticking a needle through your f***ing arm. What are you
See
doing?
how it looks?
That's horrible.
Pull it.
Oh, me! I don't understand.
Pull. Pull.
Oh, David, what have you
Pull.
done? Are you a maniac?
Pull.
This is real. Sorry, this is real. That's real. That's not a trick.
There's no blood. It's the one thing that doesn't make any sense.
First, the magicians have come to accept that the visible universe has an invisible counterpart, meaning they truly believe in the habitation of good and evil spirits in our realm and the next. Second, by means of the secret processes of black magic, it is possible to contact these invisible entities and gain their help in some human undertaking. Third, it is possible to make contracts with spirits whereby the magician becomes for a stipulated time the master of an elemental being, more commonly referred to as a demon. And fourth, true black magic is performed with the aid of a demonic spirit who serves the sorcerer for the length of his early life with the understanding that after death, the magician shall become the servant of his own demon. For this very reason, a black magician will go to inconceivable ends to prolong his physical life. And in fact, many a magician has lost his life as the result of trusting these demonic creatures during dangerous stunts.
But the fearful and unbelieving, and the abominable, and murderers, and whoremongers, and sorcerers, and idolaters, and all liars, shall have their part in the lake which burneth with fire and brimstone, which is the second death.
Focus on the button. I will show you something crazy. Are you ready?
Yes.
Take this. Next to me, next to me.
Yeah.
Look at my eyes. Look at my eyes.
Yeah. Hey! Oh, what man? Hey!
I can do like this one more time. And the crazy technique we have. What is this? Wait. Otherwise, it's coming. Oh, you touch it like this, and now we have. What is this? Oh my God! I'm gonna use the four elements. Watch. Fire.
No.
Earth. Water. Come on. And wind.
You have the spirits. It's not magic, it's the spirits.
Look at the rubber.
Okay. Whoa!
Pen to pencil.
Oh!
Look, and we changed egg.
Ooh!
I'm so excited for Halloween.
Really?
You too?
Me too.
Really?
Yeah.
Check this out. Watch this.
What?
Look.
Whoa! Where's my money? Where's my money?
You want to get your money back?
Yeah.
Look. Sorry, it doesn't work. €2. Look.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Look at this. See your card?
Why?
And it's coming to me.
Oh my god.
This is the trick. Watch the cue. Whoa! This for you. Receipt to money. 2 minutes. And like this.
How did you do that? Oh my god!
Think about one card. Give me a number between 1 and 10.
6.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Is this your card?
Oh my god!
Haribo!
Look at this.
Wow!
Rubik's Cube sticker. Okay. Just like this. Okay. €20. Do like this. Like this. Or like this. Do like this. $2. If I open it.
What the hell?
Here in LA. Show it to the camera.
Show it.
Is this your card? No. No, okay. I will turn it. Open your hand. Put the other hand on the card. If I do like this, 1, 2, 3. Open it. Is this your card?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. On my 40th birthday, rather than merely bore my friends by having anything as mundane as a midlife crisis, I decided it might be more interesting to actually terrify them by going completely mad and declaring myself to be a magician. This had been something that had been coming for a while. It seemed to be a logical end step in my career as a writer, and the problem is that with magic, being in many respects a science of language, you have to be very careful what you say, because if you suddenly declare yourself to be a magician without any knowledge of what that entails, then one day you are likely to wake up and to discover that that is exactly what you are. There is some confusion as to what magic actually is. I think that this can be cleared up if you just look at the very earliest descriptions of magic. Magic in its earliest form is often referred to as the art. I believe that this is completely literal. I believe that magic is art, and that art, whether that be writing, music, sculpture, or any other form, is literally magic. Art is, like magic, the science of manipulating symbols, words or images, to achieve changes in consciousness. The very language of magic seems to be talking as much about writing or art as it is about supernatural events. A grimoire, for example, the Book of Spells, is simply a fancy way of saying grammar. Indeed, to cast a spell is simply to spell, to manipulate words, to change people's consciousness. And I believe that this is why an artist or writer is the closest thing in the contemporary world that you are likely to see to a shaman. I believe that all culture must have arisen from cult. Originally, all of the facets of our culture, whether they be in the arts or the sciences, were the province of the shaman. The fact that in present times this magical power has degenerated to the level of cheap entertainment and manipulation is, I think, a tragedy. At the moment, the people who are using shamanism and magic to shape our culture are advertisers. Rather than trying to wake people up, their shamanism is used as an opiate to tranquilize people, to make people more manipulable. Their magic box of television, and by their magic words, their jingles, can cause everybody in the country to be thinking the same words and have the same banal thoughts all at exactly the same moment. In all of magic, there is an incredibly large linguistic component. The bardic tradition of magic would place a bard as being much higher and more fearsome than a magician. A magician might curse you. That might make your hens lay funny, or you might have a child born with a club foot. If a bard were to place not a curse upon you, but a satire, then that could destroy you. If it was a clever satire, it might not just destroy you in the eyes of your associates. It would destroy you in the eyes of your family. It would destroy you in your own eyes. And if it was a finely worded and clever satire that might survive and be remembered for decades, even centuries, then years after you were dead, people still might be reading it and laughing at you and your wretchedness and your absurdity. Writers and people who had command of words were respected and feared as people who manipulated magic. In latter times, I think that artists and writers have allowed themselves to be sold down the river. They have accepted the prevailing belief that art and writing are merely forms of entertainment. They're not seen as transformative forces that can change a human being, that can change a society. They are seen as simple entertainment, things with which we can fill 20 minutes, half an hour while we're waiting to die. It is not the job of artists to give the audience what the audience want. If the audience knew what they needed, then they wouldn't be the audience. They would be the artists. It is the job of artists to give the audience what they need. My career as a magician continues to evolve. Since I, to a certain degree, believe art and magic to be interchangeable, it has seemed only natural that art should be the means by which I express magical ideas. This has found its way into my prose writing, in works such as Voice of the Fire, and probably most visibly has found its way into the performance pieces that I've done at various locations over the past 8 years. Beautiful little psychedelic artifacts in their own right, which actually capture the kind of narrative journey that we've tried to take the readers on as part of these performances, to overwhelm the sensibilities of the audience, to tip them over into a kind of psychedelic state where we can hopefully actually change their consciousness and direct it to different places, different levels, hopefully into new and hopefully magical spaces. When we are doing the will of our true self, we are inevitably doing the will of the universe. In magic, these are seen as indistinguishable. That every human soul is in fact one human soul. It is the soul of the universe itself, and as long as you are doing the will of the universe, then it is impossible to do anything wrong. The one place in which gods and demons inarguably exist is in the human mind, where they are real in all their grandeur and monstrosity. Much of magic, as I understand it, in the Western occult tradition, is the search for the self with a capital S. This is understood as being the great work, as being the gold that alchemists sought, as being the will, the soul, the thing that we have inside us that is behind the intellect, the body, the dreams, the inner dynamo of us, if you like. Now, this is the single most important thing that we can ever attain, the knowledge of our own self. And yet there are a frightening amount of people who seem to have the urge not just to ignore the self, but actually seem to have the urge to obliterate themselves. This is horrific, but you can almost understand the desire to simply wipe out that awareness, because it's too much of a responsibility to actually possess such a thing as a soul, such a precious thing. What if you break it? What if you lose it? Mightn't it be best to anesthetize it, to deaden it, to destroy it, to not have to live with the pain of struggling towards it and trying to keep it pure? I think that the way that people immerse themselves in alcohol, in drugs, in television, in any of the addictions that our culture throws up, can be seen as a deliberate attempt to destroy any connection between themselves and the responsibility of accepting and owning a higher self, and then having to maintain it as any other piece of fiction. I've been looking at the kind of the history of magical thinking and where it starts to go wrong. And for my money, where it starts to go wrong is monotheism. I mean, if you look at the history of magic, you've got its origins in the caves. You've got its origins in shamanism, in animism, in a belief that everything around you, every tree, every rock, every animal, was inhabited by some sort of essence, some sort of spirit that could perhaps be communicated with. You would have had some central shaman or visionary who would have been responsible for channeling ideas that were useful to survival. By the time you reach the classical civilizations, you can see that this has formalized to a degree. The shaman was acting purely as an intermediary between the spirits and people. He was in his position in the village or community, I should imagine, very much like a spiritual plumber. You know, the people in the group would have had their own roles. The person who was best at hunting would have been a hunter. The person who was best at talking to the spirits, perhaps because he or she was a bit crazy, a bit detached from normal material world, then they would have been the shaman. And they would not have been masters of a secret craft. They would have simply been dispensing their information throughout the community because it was believed to be helpful to the community. When you get the actual classical cultures emerging, this has been formalized so that you've now got pantheons of gods, and each of those gods will have a priest caste that will act to a certain degree as intermediaries who will instruct you in the worship of that god. So the relationship between humans and their gods, which could be seen as the relationship between humans and their highest selves, that was still a very direct one. When Christianity comes in, when monotheism comes in, then all of a sudden you've got a priest caste moving between the worshipper and the object of worship. You've got a priest caste becoming a kind of spiritual middle management between humanity and the divine within itself that it is seeking. You no longer have a direct relationship with the Godhead. The priests don't really necessarily have a relationship with the Godhead. They've just got a book that tells you about some people who lived a long time ago who did have a direct relationship with the Godhead. And that's all right. You don't need to have miraculous visions. You don't need to have gods talking to you. In fact, if you do have any of that stuff, you're probably insane. You know, in the modern world, that stuff doesn't happen. The only people who are allowed to talk to gods, and in a very kind of one-sided way, are priests. Monotheism is, to me, a great simplification. I mean, the Kabbalah has a great multiplicity of gods, but at the very top of the Kabbalistic diagram, the Tree of Life, you have this one sphere that is absolute God. The monad, something that is indivisible, you know? And all of the other gods, and indeed everything else in the universe, is a kind of emanation of that God. Now, that's fine, but it's when you suggest that there is only that one God at this kind of unreachable height above humanity, and there is nothing in between, you're limiting and simplifying the thing. I mean, I tend to think of paganism as a kind of, as an alphabet, as a language. It's like all of the gods are letters in that language. They express nuances, shades of sort of meaning, or certain subtleties of ideas. Whereas monotheism, it tends to be just one vowel, and it's just something like, ooh, it's this monkey sound. You can almost imagine the gods becoming frustrated, contemptuous, that with all this richness of spiritual concepts that are available, why reduce it to one plaintive single note that the utterer does not even understand? The alchemists had two components to their philosophy. These were the principles of solve and coagula. Solve was basically the equivalent of analysis. It was taking things apart to see how they worked. Coagula was basically synthesis. It was trying to put the disassembled pieces back together so that they worked more efficiently. These are two very important principles which can be applied to almost anything in culture. There has recently, in literature for example, been a wave of postmodernism, deconstructionism. This is solve. Perhaps it is time in the arts for a little more coagula. Having deconstructed everything, perhaps we really should be starting to think about putting everything back together. Spiritualism was the natural state of human thinking up until the Renaissance and the subsequent age of reason that grew out of it. Our original way of seeing the world was as a place entirely inhabited by spirits, where everything had its indwelling essence, where everything was in some sense sacred, including ourselves. The age of reason changed all that. While it's inarguable that reason brought many great benefits and was a very necessary stage of our development, unfortunately this led to materialism, where the physical material world was seen as the be-all and end-all of existence, where inevitably we were seen as creatures that had no spiritual dimension, that had no souls, living in a soulless universe of dead matter.
I've spent years walking around America doing magic for people, watching their reactions. I was curious how they would respond in Haiti, a culture which is deeply rooted in magic. Like you squeeze tight, squeeze tight. Tight. Good. You have two of these. Ask them to think of any number. Hold you. 1 to 10, yeah.
N'importe numéro, choisis un. Non, un, oui.
2, 1, 2.
Get valé. That's on me. Me degoyo. Ai, chance a faire la musique avec perfect.
Squeeze, 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 like this, tight. Squeeze, tight, tight, tight. You do it, squeeze like this, tight. Tight, squeeze like this. Squeeze, help squeeze, tell her to squeeze. Like that, squeeze like this, look. Yeah, ask her if she feels that. Do you feel? You feel it starting to go? Open, open.
You break my sense. I need it. Wait for me. I need my sense.
Hello.
Quer do metragem?
The idea, hold your hand out for me. Hold your hand, yeah. Just the idea like that. Just like this. No, just like it's okay.
gracias.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Very much. Bájeme mucho. Okay?
What magic have you seen here?
Voodoo.
Voodoo. Yeah, what? What have you seen? What have you seen?
Comme si
What?
tu sortais au monde là nous sur. Qu'est-ce qu'ils sont encore? Sont qu'on est encore. Moi le gars au cap voler.
What's that?
Des vampires.
People flying?
Yeah.
What else? In Haiti, magic and voodoo are considered the same thing. Here, look. One thing. It's not, no, look. It's not black magic. It's not, but it's not bad. Oh, yes, no, it's okay. It is good. It is good.
No, for you, not for me.
No, it is good for you, because it's fun. Look. Wait, look. I'm an entertainer. I entertain. You know, not black magic, though. I just entertain. You see one? You have one in your mind? Yeah? Okay. Don't say it. Don't say it. Don't say it to anyone. Don't say it. No, but don't say it. Don't say it. No, don't say it. Don't say it. Don't say it. Don't say it. Okay, look. You're thinking of a card, right? Think of any card that you want. Yeah? You're thinking of a card? You're thinking of a card?
You're right.
Six of clubs.
Okay. You wanna?
That was what he was thinking of. In your mind
Can you
only.
learn in my mind?
It's different than you think. It's not what you think it is.
Oh wow.
Tama, hold
That's the idea.
Ta'a nitar, ma père.
There shall be signs in the sun, and in the moon, and in the stars, and upon the earth distress of nations, with perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring, men's hearts failing them for fear, and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth. For the powers of heaven shall be shaken.
A haunting but mesmerizing scene from the wildfires in Sonoma County. A man came across this tree burning from the inside out.
I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had 2 horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. And he exerciseth all the power of the first beast before him, and causeth the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. And he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men, and deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth, that they should make an image to the beast, which had the wound by a sword, and did live. Watch ye therefore, and pray always, that ye may be accounted worthy to escape all these things that shall come to pass, and to stand before the Son of Man.